Once Human got some brand new reveals, we'll look at a bunch of things for the new season. That includes a full developer Q&A, as we deep dive into all of what Reversed Star Arrival has to offer. We'll cover some additional dev mentions there, as well as some gameplay tied to that, where we even get a first look at the new loot crate, as well as a whole bunch more. What's up, world? It's Utopia back in with another video. Today we're checking out all things Once Human. First off, let's go over everything that's happening in the Reversed Star Arrival, or for most other regions including NA, that's actually being labeled Starfall Inversion. But if you ever see me mention Reversed Star Arrival, essentially that's what they call it over in China, and I might conflate the two. However, we have a ton of new details surrounding it, or upon logging in, if you've seen the latest news should pop up. It's going to give you some notions here, like a new scenario that's coming soon. Again, we're not sure when that one is coming out, more than likely it is going to be here in the next month or so. And then we also have the Visional Wheel new season, where it says a new vision is coming, gravity will fail soon, get ready for chaos. Also, upon logging in, if you do play through the menus, there will be an event section, where under the Visional Wheel section, you actually see this where it says Phenomenon Shift, and then it has a countdown timer with some pre-registration gifts where you can pre-register. And yeah, if you actually do pre-register for the new seasons, you'll get some new gifts here like a Gravity Neutralizer, obviously that 100 Mitsuko marks. However, this Gravity Neutralizer will essentially allow you to suspend in gravity, or while jumping in mid-air, you can expend stamina to hover, allowing you to essentially fly. That thing lasts for 10 seconds, has a durability of 60, so I assume it can be used 60 times. And you'll get that just by simply registering. They also have a gravity tuner here, that provides a gravity shielding injection that uses controlled gravity to counter sudden gravitational changes. So you're essentially turning off gravity, allowing you to stay stationary on the ground. However, if you take heavy damage or if you're critically injured, it will actually shut off. This thing will last for 600 seconds though, and because it is a consumable, I do believe that it will go away on use. Although not 100% sure on that, it doesn't give its durability. You'll also receive a third item here, Floating Aerogel, which creates a platform of gaseous gel beneath you, letting you stand on it briefly. So essentially creating a floating platform. They're calling this one a tactile item, so again, probably like a consumable, only one-time use. But you do start off with this in the new season and new scenario when that does drop, which now is basically just in a few days here. Also, if you do see on the right side icon here, we do have a little bit of a trailer. You can play through that. Now, they have the trailer over on YouTube, and I'll link to it down below, but actually this one does show an extended version. Not sure if they meant to put this one out yet, but essentially it is an extended version of the one that's on YouTube. Again, surprised they didn't put this version on YouTube or what ended up happening there, but essentially this is a much longer version than the one on YouTube. It's 22 seconds. This one essentially shows the player flying around and floating through all the different zones, and shows how crazy this Visional Wheel is going to be with gravity. So a decent check out there if you want to watch the full thing. I should have it played here, but if you want to watch it all yourself, you can do so through this event page. Moving on though, let's talk about the new scenario, the new season, what's going on there, and all the new details. And we got a ton here. So first off here, they have a post here on the Chinese version of the website, where they essentially say here that all servers are going to be getting this weightlessness, well, at least ones that do have the tag, and they're giving out some free goodies who do assemble an anti-gravity team here. So they have this little imagery. I have gone ahead and translated. Of course, we know what this is, 4,000 star crom. We also get Mitsuko marks, but then this one on the third to the right here is actually an exit card, and then you're getting a weapon charm for the fourth item. So I do believe they're going to be resetting everyone's cooldown for this new scenario, new season. Seems like that's going to be the case at least, although not 100% sure, but they are giving everybody, or it seems like anybody that does sign up for this, a new exit card. Now again, this is the Chinese version and has a Chinese version login, so we'll have to wait to get the other client version one. But just to showcase there, I'll include a link to it so you can go over all the rewards, but those should be coming to the other regions as well. Jumping over here, we had this insanely long infographic, which is a preview and live review of the Reverse Star Arrival, although again, Starfall Inversion for us. And they have a full picture flow to understand here. Now, I went ahead and translated all of this for you just in case. We've already gone over a ton of these details already. However, it does look like we're also getting some brand new deviations, which include the mini yellow outfit, the eternal sun, the mini singularity, the cursed doll, ice jellyfish, and glaring black cat. So they'll probably have some unique properties with this new season. Now, what's really cool about this next section here is they actually do mention what is going to be happening with the scenario exits. So if you didn't know, you can exit a scenario or a server early. It's basically the same here. It looks like the cooldown is not going to be reset for this. That for sure will probably come with the new scenarios though. So if you are on a cooldown with an exit card, you probably still will be. But if you're on a Lunar Oracle server, it should automatically change to the new season. So all the servers are switching over to that, so I wouldn't worry too much. Moving on here, we have a massive FAQ for the Star Arrival. This was actually a question and comment I got in my last video. They say here, I haven't experienced the Moon Omen or Lunar Oracle, it's called over here, gameplay yet. Can I get its exclusive items and modules that are tied to that? They say yes, as a universal anomaly roulette shop that will be announced later, essentially allowing players to exchange items and module recipes from previous anomalies using current anomaly tokens. Again, it probably will be labeled something different over here or named something different, but really cool there, you can get Lunar Oracle items. And even this new Starfall inversion items that do pass along for the next season, you should be able to snag those too as well. And this does pertain to the new content section. Will there be new weapons in the new anomaly roulette? They say not immediately due to the recent mobile beta test. There are many players that are still getting used to the game. However, the development team has planned new weapons and a complete weapon system overhaul which will be released later. Pretty interesting to hear there, and I can't wait to see what they got cooking for that. Here's a really important one. Will the Lunar Oracle modules and anomaly items lose their effectiveness in the new anomaly? They say no, the development team has considered the versatility of the Moon Omen, or again Lunar Oracle items, allowing them to remain functional in future anomalies. So they will still pose some purpose there. That's really cool to hear, and you can at least keep those mods on if you do use those. This one was actually quite important. How much will zero gravity affect the trajectory of throwable items? They say for balance purposes, throwable items trajectories will not be affected by zero gravity. So it's really just the player overall. Another one is crafted items from the Lunar Oracle. Will those be deleted after the update? They say no, all crafted or obtained Lunar Oracle items will remain, but they can no longer be obtained through gameplay. So if there is any Lunar Oracle items that you want from these scenarios, you should make, craft, and get those right now. Otherwise, that's going to be gone for quite some time. I assume it's not going to come back around for a very long time. Now, on an ending note here, they actually did showcase the new Loot Crate item, which is Phase Blitz, that will be available on the 21st. And you can see that here. Again, they did tease this one on Twitter, but they had that kind of blanked out. They've showcased this one over in China for a few days now, but I figured I would cover it since it's basically out in public. So yeah, you can see the new Loot Crate skins here. Also, speaking of China, they actually did do a live stream over there already. You can check out some of the gameplay here on this Bilibili video. It does seem like the official page for Once Human isn't showing this current live stream. I don't know where it went, but they did live stream over on Bilibili, and a bunch of content creators over there did cover it and kind of give their take, especially this one. So I'll link down to his VOD if you want to check it out. There is a bunch of gameplay for the new scenario in there, and it's definitely worth the watch. Although they will still be doing a live stream here over in NA, or at least every other region. So that live stream will actually start on May 19th, 7 p.m. Pacific time, around 24 hours after this video does come out. They'll probably showcase off some of the same things that we saw in the Chinese live stream, but it is worth the watch there if you do want to check it out. And again, if they have any newer mentions or anything like that, I will cover it here. There was one last Q&A question here with that full panel, but since this was separate from the visual wheel, I figured I'd cover that right now. Whereas they do mention there is going to be a weapon balance change happening. Now they label this May 22nd, but it's going to be May 21st for other regions. And they do say that a blue post will be released on the official platforms. Looks like they are doing quite a decent major overhaul with some weapons here, or at least some overall balance changes for weapons. Again, whatever they do change, I will cover that here as well. That should about cover for today's video. Links to everything will be in the description, so if you want to check anything out that I did cover, it should all be there, aside from the ones that are in game. If you enjoyed today's video, like and subscribe, and until the next one, deuces.